I'm recording. I believe so. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this real quick. It's pretty simple over and all. So let's start with the belts, okay? So the biggest thing is actually, I think this will be better. You'll want to, if anytime you're doing anything with like accessories, you need to, oh, here, one second. I'm a little bit sick, but you need to grab a rig. And so how you do that is you go to Avatar, Rig Builder, you select which type, in our case it's going to be R6, and then you could just do, I would recommend block avatar just because it's raw, whereas if you do my avatar, it pops up your whole person, which we don't need. So once you've generated yourself a rig, all you're going to do is make sure you're in the model tab. And so if it's a belt or if it's a vest, all you will need from this rig is the torso because it has the body front attachment. However, say that you're doing a helmet, we'll have to go to the head here, and you're going to need the hat attachment. All these other ones you can just delete, including the mesh and the face. And so I'll kind of do one of each to explain how we do them. So one vest, one helmet, and then there's also those drop legs, which I'll show as well. One belt, one drop leg. Okay. So for example, let's grab this vest right here. Oh, did this one not get? That's okay. Oh, there's just a lot of items. Okay. So we'll do is we'll cut, and then we'll just literally, oop, we'll find the torso, paste it inside of it. Once we've done that, we just want to get rid of everything else, okay? Makes it super easy. Just get rid of everything else. Keep the torso and the body front attachment. Inside of this accessory, we want to take everything out, put it inside the torso, put the torso above it, everything inside of there. Basically just moving stuff around. That's all that it is. Now, we want to take this vest and actually fit it to the person, okay? So you see this was the original front. This is going to be the front side. So all you got to do now is fit it to the front. It looks like there's already a middle there. I might be able to get away with that. I don't want to. I don't want to. So we'll want to ungroup all this stuff just because you have to. That's how it works. Holy Jesus. All right. There's everything for that one. Let's go ahead and grab all these items. And let's go ahead and fit it to this person's character. So you're going to want to fit it however you need to. Literally the easiest part is just this. Once you know what I've noticed? Is it curved a little bit? No, it's good. I just want to make sure. Pivot, reset. Side plates are looking good. You're sometimes going to get little corners here too, like this. You can resize it as well if you really want to. There's nothing wrong with that. Next thing you can see is, well, we're not above the shoulders here. So make sure we're above. There we go. Still good. Somewhat a little bit small in the back. Let's resize it a little bit. And as you can see, there's sometimes going to be a little bit of gaps, which is annoying. Clipping it all. Yeah, I'm clipping over here. All right. There we go. You could, if you also wanted to, you could keep the head. So for example, if we were to add the head back inside of here, that's where it somewhat sit. And so then you can see, oh, okay, so where are my straps sitting at? There you go. But you want to make sure to delete the head right afterwards. So now that we got all that, okay, you got your accessory. So we want to rename it to whatever we're going to name it. We're just going to name it vest, and then do a dash, and then underscore. So The vest dash, what does that mean? So basically this is explaining what it is. So right here you have belt dash. This is separating it. So this is like the object, vest dash. Unless if you have this inside of a folder where they're all separated, you could just have the folder named vest or vests. But in this case, I don't know how you're going to parent them. So we're just going to do vest dash FBI underscore multicam. There we go. Something simple. And then we got the torso. And now we want to make sure that every single part inside of here, the can collide is off. It will not automatically be, as well as the anchored is off. And massless is on. Once you've done that, we want to go inside of each and every part now. We want to do or add something called a weld constraint. So you get to put it one inside, you just got to press that little plus, weld, and then there you go. What you could do then from here is Control C, copy it, and then paste it inside of each and every one of them. Select all the weld constraints. Part 0. This is essentially what it is being welded to. You're going to weld it to the torso. And then here's where it kind of sucks. Part 1, you can't just select part 1 to mesh part, because right now you're selecting all these 27 items. And so if you just do it to right now to part 1 to mesh part, every 27 part is going to go to this one. So you're going to have to go individually through, and you're going to have to start selecting stuff. Thankfully, you could just do weld constraint inside of here, wherever it may be. There we are. And you could just do this. So you don't have to see all the other stuff. So let's go ahead and weld it up. Ooh. It is time consuming, and that's why I'm showing you this, because I'm just to be programming, not to be doing all this. So I'm going to at least do at least one or a few of them for you, and I'll have you do the rest, just so I can start scripting it. Because it's important that you learn how to do this as well. Because if you don't know how to do this, then guess what? I'll have to keep doing it for you. Which, in realism, it's pretty simple. It's just annoying. There you go. Alright, we can go ahead and get rid of that. So now what we're going to do, the final step of this, we're going to rename torso to handle. Once you've done that, you're pretty much good to go. Just make sure all the properties are good, the weld constraints are good. So now if we take a look at show welds, you can see here like where everything's centered to the middle. That's because that's this. Turn the handle transparency to 1. And so now I'll show you how this works. I'll copy this, put it inside of here, paste it, and then if I play the game, first thing you'll notice is that that vest actually, or all of them drop now because I had to program it that way. So I'll go ahead and take this thing, which was vest. There we go. Look at my character, add accessory. Ooh, hold on a second. I had to do it at the server. That's right. Test current client. Where am I at? Okay. So now, oh shit. Here you go. So now the vest is actually fitted to my person. And so if I go back to current client, you can see here, it's actually added. So like the others, so with accessories, the reason why it's better is that they don't clip. And so when you kind of zoom in, there you go. And you could do this literally this easy code. And if you ever wanted to, you could just do remove accessory. I'm pretty sure you could do that, right? Colon. Remove accessories. Oh. But anyways though, so yeah, that's how that works, dude. It's pretty cool actually. So now you can see the sides of it. So there's the vest. All right. One vest done, and you've got some more to go. All right, helmet. Helmets are a little bit easier. Um, don't take as long just because you got to fit it to the person's head. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete the person's body parts. Besides the torso or humanoid root part can be deleted. Okay. Cut. Paste into. Get rid of face center, face front, hair, mesh, face. Oh, keep the mesh. What did I do? There we go. That was weird. Face. Get rid of the face. There we go. So now all we got is this. Close all this tomfoolery up. Put it inside of there. Accessory in the top. Head inside of there. Good to go. All right, so now we just got to reform all of this. Get this to fit properly. I'm honest with you. The very first time, I mean, dude, you can't get any more than that. Like, that's actually really solid. It's just off to the right a little bit. Like, that's pretty solid, dude. Okay. I wasn't expecting it to be that easy. Keep the mesh. Or in this case, we technically don't need to, so we could just name this handle. You can keep the mesh if you want to, but we're going to go ahead and do weld constraint. Control C. Control Shift V. Before I start. Oh. Yep. Part 0 handle. And I'll make sure to, I'll check real quick. Make sure that all of these parts can collide off, massless, and anchored is off. Okay, they are. Let's go ahead and start doing these weld constraints to this. All right, there we go. There's all the weld constraints. Close it all up. For this handle, we can go ahead transparency 1. Cast shadow. Shouldn't be casting a shadow. For the helmet stuff, yeah, we can do that. But everything else, we're good. So now, we want to go ahead and get rid of the torso. So now we want to name this helmet dash multicam. Cut. Paste it into there. Handle, hat attachment, yep. So now, if we play the game, in this case, I'll actually want to go inside of here, workspace, Twin Command 26, get rid of my dev awards, helmet. Oh, shit. Add accessory. There we go. Looks like it sits a little too low. I mean, let's take a look. So when you have this, if you think something sits too low, well, actually, if I'm honest with you, that's how it's supposed to be. Because if I get rid of my beard here, that is indeed my chin. It could go up a little bit more, I suppose. So if you ever have to do that, cut, paste into, handle. It looks like it doesn't like the mesh, which is perfectly fine. Make sure you select everything else besides the actual handle, and you just bring it up. Ooh. Oh, it's just being a bitch, that's all. Move. Stop it. Thank you. Alright, now, it's just being annoying is all. There we go. So now if we take this, shift it a little bit up. Cut. put it back inside of the replicated storage. You can go back and forth with it. So, and I'll make it to where you can do this yourself. So like I'm gonna keep everything that I've finished inside of the replicated storage, and then you can just take it out, and then you can fit it as needed. And you can just run this code. So now if we run that, yeah, that's a lot better. And let's just get rid of my actual crown. Do that. Do that. Yeah, it's a lot better. Still looks like it's riding low a little bit. The helmet might be too big. But I mean, that is my chin. That's my helmet. But yeah, so that's how you do the helmets. So let's move on from that one. That one's still here? I guess I must have just copied and pasted it. Okay. Let me make sure that I actually have it inside. Cool part is now you can just easily grab the stuff. Except this one. This one's being a bitch. Why? Why is it being difficult? Is it because of this mesh? Is it really because of that mesh? No. Because when I grab that one, it just does the handle. But when I grab this one, it grabs the helmet. I guess it's because I'm... That's fair. There we go. So now if we grab it, there we go. And then you can actually move it around as needed. So I might move this a little bit more up. There we go. Okay, so next up is going to be these ones. These ones are pretty, the belts are pretty easy actually. Same thing. You just go inside of here, get rid of the head, humanoid, arm, leg, that. Put it inside the torso. Get all the stuff back inside of the torso. Accessory up. Ooh, too far. Torso in. Rename this as handle. Weld, constraint, Control C, Control Shift V. Part 0 is going to be, ooh, handle. There we go. Make sure everything is can collide off, anchored off, massless is true. All right. So now let's get down to business. So this belt is obviously still over here. Now we got to actually put it to this torso. Fit it properly. Looks like it'll be a little bit larger. Does it? Goodness. A little bit larger. The back is doing good. The sides are doing good. Actually, this is really solid. And then you can bring it lower or higher as needed. I've been personally bringing them a little bit lower. You can shift it up and down as needed. I put them near the waist, like near the actual waist, near your legs, because then your holster reflects properly. So now that we've gotten that piece done, we just gotta actually go through each and every single weld, do them individually. The hardest part is honestly the welds, the weld constraint, just doing that, because you could just easily move the thing back and forth, and then the code will do the rest, like as in adding your character. When it comes to sizing it and fitting it, you just gotta remember the main things, that's all. Boom, there we go. So now, all that is good. Body front attachment is there. Handle, we're gonna name this belt. Gun, light underscore gun underscore gun right. There we go. So now we got everything. Obviously, you got the little bit of clipping on the corners, which is perfectly fine. That's where it should be clipping. It shouldn't be clipping all the way out, which in this case it is not. It's actually pretty equal all the way around. Nothing sticking out the back, nothing sticking out the front. And then once again, take the handle. Transparency is 1, or else it'll actually show the part. It's like there. Need to make sure this shows 1. This handle here is already showing 1. It's just being weird. If that does happen, you'll just have to reset your actual handle. Or it's something else. What is this? Sometimes it's weird, it looks like. Okay, interesting. So now we've got the belt. We can go ahead, cut, delete the rig, paste into, and then if we go ahead and take it over here. So now, I know this will work, but I will show you that it does work. So I'll copy this, put it inside a replicated storage, paste into. This will be belt light, however I needed to name it. Test, current server, belt. Yep. Where's my character? Here he is. There you go. See how it kind of sits a little bit lower? It sits where that belt would actually hang. And you see how it actually moves? With accessories instead of models, they actually flow with the character. Because that's how the character interacts with it. So you don't get any of the clipping. You don't get any of that weird stuff. And it actually looks like how it's supposed to be. So it's physically attached to the character. So it's actually super cool. So here we go. There's a belt. The last part that I'm going to show you how to do is going to be a holster. Which you only have 2 of these. So if we go over here. Ooh. Gun leg holster. Cut. So now in this case, we want to actually find in this case, it's the right leg. Right leg, paste into. Everything else, I'm going to keep the torso just for reference. But if we go ahead and take this, put underneath, that above, that in there, handle, move it on over. See how super low that is? A drop leg holster is low, but like not that low. You can see we got to resize it a little bit. And we can actually shift it over. The process of steps doesn't matter, by the way, for certain things. You got to make sure that you at least get all of them done. Like you can, like as you've noticed, I sometimes will do weld constraints first, or sometimes I'll do certain parts first. It's pretty simple. So with weld, or with these ones with drop legs, they really sit at about the top there. So we'll move it to like the very top of the leg, because this first strap usually sits right next to your balls, as much, and it hurts. Like it's not fun. And then you get that. If you wanted to, technically, you could also go the other side. Um, and how you do this is take this cut, paste it inside of the torso. What the hell? Oh, okay. It's being disrespectful now. What I was going to say is you just add the belt, because this would technically attach to a belt of sorts. Might actually be too large on the sides. I know that it is. Made it too large. Okay, that's pretty good size. We're getting this. I got a little bit of wiggle room. That is about it. But as you can see here, it's clipping pretty bad. Which tells me it's an issue with this side right here. But then you're going to have a little bit from the front and a little bit in the rear, which is okay. So now, as a little bit high and tight with this, it's still bothering me, man. Like, but now it's going to actually start showing a little bit more. Okay, there's the gun. Torso. Cut. Paste into. Yeah, let's just keep it over there. And we can move this over to here now. So let's just bring it back. I guess this isn't the best one for it. This would be more of a wiser one to do. And I have these belts sitting about right here, which then that shows that it's a little bit high. Unless if you move the belts around, it's up to you. So what you could do is, so if we go back inside of here, you got your torso gun. So you could technically bring it down to about right there. To where it's at the very top, because that's where it would loop around. Not showing too much, is it? Nope. That's actually a pretty good placement right there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take this belt, put it back over here, get rid of that torso. Boom, now we have our leg placement. Let's take a look at this little stump. Got a little bit, it's rough. Not a whole lot you can do with this one though. Okay, let's go ahead and add the weld constraint. Control Shift V. Part 0, handle. Part 1, barrel. Part 1, bolt. Every single part you got to do this to, so think about that when you start having multiple items into a single. Like if you have a gun, like a real gun, it's gonna suck. Like obviously you got a real gun in here too, but it's not as many parts if that makes sense. Okay, all the attachments are done. Make sure that can collide is off, anchored is off, massless is true. Okay. Take this handle, make it 1. Let's do holster dash gun underscore right. We could just do holster drop holster. It should be a gun, right? Because there actually is a gun inside of there. So let's do copy. We can pivot, reset. There we go. Paste into. Same one as this one, right? Yep, okay. Play. Let's go ahead and give her a test. Current server. Okay, next we're going to do the belt. And then just for shits and giggles. So with this one right here, we're going to there we go. because I don't have that full on one. We'll do drop. There we go. And then as you can see here, my hand is right on my gun. It's actually centered pretty good. There you go. So now let me go ahead and go to my character. See, it moves fluidly with that. Looks pretty good. You can't see that. So technically, there is that little part that I was talking about. There, you can't really see it. But yeah, it moves with your leg. It looks really good. There's a little piece in here, like the part that goes up here past the belt. If you have that showing, you'll see it like teeter-totter back and forth. So what I mean is, this little piece right here, because it's so weird, like tongue, this little tongue right here, you'll see it sway back and forth if you have it sticking up. And so when the player's moving, you'll just see it going back and forth like a fucking door or some shit. So when you have it set properly, it looks good. All right. So that is how you do at least each of one. I'm going to have you do the rest, just seeing as it takes a lot of time. Okay. And I want to help you out. However, I don't have that much time. I know this one I'll end up doing myself. I'll have to. This will be a multi-part, as you can see here, like the FBI jacket. Um, I might. No, you'd have to make it look really good. Yeah, because this would be the middle. This would be your left arm. This would be your right arm, and then so it'd be 3 accessories. But then I could do like jacket. Yeah, it'll be this one. I'll do. This will be super simple. But yeah, I want you to do the rest of these, man. Okay. So if at any point you have any questions along the way, please ask me. I think I already got these two done. Let me take a look. I think. Did I already do this one? Gun on the left, Secret Service, handcuff pouch on the right, double cuff. Gun on the right, open cuffs on the top. Yeah, I already did this one. So we'll just move these right over here where I finished stuff at. I'll just actually move them right here with a stud spaced apart. Should probably have the drop leg right next to these. There you go. So now you can actually see all your shit. All these green parts, that's what you're going to need. I just basically took what I had from society and I used it. So, and I like remember, I had to teach myself how to do it again. So belt, light, I already got that one because it's right over here. Belt, light, badge. So now all I need you to do, brother, is you got to do the rest of these, okay? What is the difference between, this one's a hard plastic, isn't it? No, that one's a Glock. That one's also a Glock. I don't know the difference between the two. But all you got to do from here, brother, is you got to fit all this stuff, okay? So it is up to you on how you want to do it. Um, for you, in this case, I've already made everything. Can collide and anchored is off and massless. When I actually go to start making sure you did everything properly, um, I'll fix stuff. But yeah, biggest thing I'm gonna recommend is here. I'll actually make your life a little bit easier. So you can get in the habit of deleting the stuff as you want. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are gonna have you do all these, okay? It is work, but guess what? If you want to run an agency, brother, or if you want to be doing this stuff, you got to learn how to do it. You got to learn how to fit the accessories. Um, and it's actually an easy skill to learn. So it's not too challenging. Like you literally saw me do these one, two, three, yeah, 4 items within like a minute. So I'm pretty confident that you'll be able to do it yourself. If you can't, let me know. I will give you assistance, not do it for you, but I will give you assistance and teach you how to do it. Um, I work a weird schedule right now. I work from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. So right now it's obviously 10 p.m. But yeah. All right, man. If you have any questions, let me know. Deuces.